What is going on, YouTube? Patrick here. It is Wednesday. Unlike last week when it wasn't Wednesday, but I said it was. My apologies. I had filmed it, and I'm just so used to saying Wednesday when I filmed it, and it wasn't Wednesday at all, so my apologies, like I said. But yeah, it is Wednesday, so normally what I do is go over all of the items that sold in the last week. If we have not met, my name is Patrick. I am a part-time reseller in Connecticut. And yeah, mostly focus on like electronics and stuff, but realistically anything that I can sell and make a profit on. Yeah, so let's get into what sold last week. It was a pretty good week, you guys. Not as good as we've been having, but pretty good. So up first, this is a funny little electronic device. It says it's a Pogo Plug personal cloud device. I honestly, right, this is one of those things where I'm like, I don't know what this thing is exactly. I know what a cloud device is. I just don't know how to use this thing. It was brand new. Amber found this at a church sale in the spring. We tossed it in our bag and we bought everything at once. It says here we paid $2 for it. So it sat for like 6 to 8 months before it sold for $15. So realistically not too bad. And it didn't take up a lot of space on the shelf. Item number 2 this week is a little bit more fun. This is a lot of Beyblade toys. Definitely on my list of things that I'll pick up whenever I can. I thought I'd gotten a pretty good deal at this. I paid $20 for these, and there were just about 20 of them in there, so I think I paid $1 a piece. And I thought I could probably get about $60 for them. That did not happen. I ended up getting $45 for them, so still doubled my money on them. Just didn't make as much as I was hoping to make. Definitely going to continue to pick these up. Just now I can know them to pay a little bit less than $1 each going forward. Item number 3 this week. This one was really good. This is a Mr. Coffee iced tea maker. I had seen another person on YouTube talking about these recently, and basically it was saying that the pitchers can sell really well. And so I did a little bit of research and found that if you put them in the sets, even that can do well. But this was easy. It was open, so I took a look inside, and sure enough, the items were actually brand new. The Savers thrift store that I was in wanted $14.99. I did have a 20% off coupon, so I ended up paying $12 for this and sold for $50. Actually sold within a few hours of me listing it for the full $50. Probably I could have gone a little bit higher, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with this sale, you guys. I'm not going to complain about this one at all. Item number 4 is actually 2 items in one. It's 2 Uniden phones. This is from that crazy estate sale that I went to a couple weeks back with Amber. Right, we bought tons and tons of these phones. I created multiple item listings, right? So this one, there was 2 of them, so I just created one listing and said the quantity was 2. Somebody wanted to buy both of them. Super easy for me, right? Like I can just put them into one box, ship it out, done. I think they paid $70. Let's see, maybe $80. $80 free shipping. And so after shipping it was about $72. And that's about what I thought these were worth, was about $35 each. So great profit there. I was into these for about $4.25 each. If you didn't see the video, I didn't think these were worth what they actually ended up being worth. I thought they would be worth like $20 to $30. So I was definitely into it a lot less than I thought I was. So I ended up getting a fantastic deal on them, like I said. So it was about $8.50, turning that into $72 for both of them. Item number 5, this is an item from my friend Liz. She helped her parents move recently, and so she was like, what do you want? I'm like, I want kind of any of the brand new stuff. I want any of the video games, and we got some toys, like all sorts of stuff. This was one of the video games that was in the big lot that she had, and this one was brand new, right? And I love selling brand new stuff. It's super easy, right? You don't have to clean it, you don't have to test it, list it, and forget about it until it sells. That's what I did with this. I've got a box where I just put video games in, organized, and yeah, it sat in there for a few months and it ended up selling for my full asking price of $30. So with this, I normally do a 40%. So 40% goes to Liz, 40% goes to me, and then I keep 20% aside for fees, shipping, supplies, that kind of thing. So it's about $6 gonna go. No, that's not right. It's 4 times 3 is $12. It goes to me, $4 goes to Liz, and then the rest will go into fees and such. All right, item number 6. This one's a weird one, guys. So you know what that means. This one is
Amber's Weird Sale of the Week.
It's weird because these are just little Gumby toys. Newer generations may not even know who Gumby is. I barely know who Gumby is. Just happened to be in the more pop culture like references. I just kind of know who he is. I don't know if I ever actually watched any Gumby at all. I don't actually remember where I got these. I am assuming that they were in like a Savers toy bag, right? I tend to buy these bags for like $3-4. They've usually got a bunch of toys in them. There's certain items that I'm looking for that I'm going to buy, and then the rule is look up everything, you guys, right? So everything in that bag I looked up, and just kind of on a whim decided like these might sell at $10. So I listed them, and sure enough, they ended up selling within a couple months. Like kind of crazy, right? So this is super easy. Pop these in a little bubble mailer, ship them out. Really easy little flip. And since it was kind of a bonus find in this bag, I didn't even know if they were going to sell. I didn't even put any cost against this. So anything to make my bottom line look better, right? All right, item number 7. This is an Atari Flashback 2. Honestly, you guys, these do not sell very well. The only reason I got this was I had bought it with a Harry Potter illustrated book at the same time, and I paid $5 for both of these items. The Harry Potter book I knew was going to sell for like $25, $30, and I figured this would sell for like $10 to $15. So right, $5, turning that into $45, that's a pretty good flip, right? So I bought it. I did not test this, right? I don't test some of the electronics like this just because like it's not really worth my time. If it doesn't work or the person's like, oh my gosh, this isn't what I was looking for, I'm just going to refund it. Now, this is a personal choice on my part. I'm not recommending that you do this, especially if you need to have every dollar coming in matter. But when I've been doing really well this year, this type of item, I'm not too worried about it. $12, the shipping, it's going to be about $20, something like that. I can afford right now to refund that if it doesn't work. And honestly, you guys, most of the time, these things do work just fine. There's the occasional item that doesn't work. Right? It's not like it's a VCR where those have a high fail rate. Now, these things generally work, so I'm not really worried about it. And that's why I didn't test it. So again, I was into this for about $2.50, ended up selling it for, looks like, what did I write down here? $12. Not a bad flip. Pretty easy for a little plug-and-play video game system. Item number 8, this is another from that estate sale, is a Logitech Harmony like Ultimate Hub, I believe. Originally, I thought they were worth about $30, something like that. And I ended up listing both of these for about $50 with free shipping. This is the second one of them to sell. Sure enough, it sold within a few days of me listing it. After shipping, it's going to be about $44.27. And I was into this about $4, so super cheap again and a great flip. Item from number 5 may look familiar. It's also $150, so that one's going to be the sale of the week. What's really funny, for those of you who watched this channel before, this one I have had, it was the sale of the week once before. And why that is it was returned. This one, right, like unlike the other item, that's why I mentioned the Atari, like I wouldn't even bother with the return on that, I'd just refund it. But for this one, $150, yeah, I'm going to ask for this one back. It's a lot of money. It's tested. It's working. It's cleaned. The person bought it thinking it was a different remote than it was. And you actually do need other equipment, so I sold it as like a replacement remote, not as just a full-on remote. But the person didn't understand that, bought it, and didn't work for their needs. So they were like, hey, can I return this? Of course you can. I have it set up as buyer pays return shipping so that I'm not refunding them the money that it cost that they paid to ship it to, for me to ship it to them or for them to ship it back to me. They pay for that stuff, but then I will refund them the $150 of the item. But the good news is I listed it. It sold within a couple hours again. Like, I'm super happy about it. Of course, that means I probably could have asked more. I'm happy with the $150. I was into this for about $20. It was from that same estate sale, right? $20 into $150, you're going to be doing good any day of the week. Moving on, item number 10. This is a Starbucks mug. During the summer, I went to a garage sale and they had a ton of them, maybe like 8 to 10 mugs, which is a lot for Starbucks, right? You don't find those in that kind of quantity a lot of times. This was someone's collection, I believe, and she just wasn't interested in collecting them anymore. So I ended up buying them for like $3 to $5 each. This one I paid $4 for, thought I could get about $15 for it, and ended up selling it for $13. So for a Starbucks mug, that's a pretty good flip. Item number 11, Panasonic Vcr. As I said, bumped the table there. Sorry about that. As I mentioned, I do test these. They do have a pretty high failure rate. It's actually gone down for me this year. I would have said last year about 1 in 3 VCRs do not work. I think it's more like 1 in 5 for me this year. So that has been fantastic. I've been selling the heck out of these things. I got this one and one other at a Goodwill a few weeks back and they were like $5.99 each, so like really great deal. The other one actually had the remote, so that's even better. But these Panasonics, especially with, you can see the blue line going across the little door where the VHS tape goes into, that's what you want to look for. And then looking on the back, this one's going to have stereo, but the blue line generally means that. But any of the VCRs you buy, you want to make sure they have stereo. That's going to do much better when they have stereo. You can tell because you'll have a yellow plug, a white, and a red plug on the back. And if it only has a yellow and a white, then it's going to be mono, right? So not both channels of your audio, and not going to sell for as much. Some of those can still do well. So if you've got the time, do comp them, and you might be able to get a pretty good deal on them, because a lot of times even the store selling them aren't going to think they're worth anything. Like I said, I was into this for $5.99, flipped it for $40. Love selling VCRs. All right, item number 12. This is a How to Train Your Dragon toy. Definitely put this on your list of things to pick up if you see them, but not this toy in particular. How to Train Your Dragon toys, especially the big dragons, do really well. But this one was not a Train Your Dragon toy. It was a like interactive gun toy. I did not realize that when I bought it. I definitely would not have bought it. I paid $3.99 for this at a Savers, and sold it for $5, right? So not going to do good on this. I might just break even after fees if I'm lucky. If it had been one of the other toys where it wasn't this kind of blaster type toy, I've sold them anywhere from $10 up to $50, you guys, for some of these toys. So definitely these are a category you can look for and do really well with. Item number 13, spent some time a couple weekends ago with my friend Matt. We got together and helped him do some housework. We cleaned out part of his basement, right? Just helping out your buddies, right? That's how this usually goes. And they had a bunch of video game stuff down there, and found some video game attachments that were for systems they didn't even have anymore. Maybe for games they didn't have. Since this was a Rock Band, they did not have the Rock Band, any of that stuff anymore. So I'm like, you know what? Let me take these. I'll sell these for you. He knows the deal. The split is the 40-40-20, so he's fine with that. Right, so this one sold for $40 free shipping. So after shipping, it's going to be about $36.50. Really great, easy thing to ship, right? It's tiny, very light, super easy. It's going to be about $15 to me, $15 to Matt. Thank you, Matt. Item number 14, a board game. There's not a ton of board games where it's like, wow, definitely put this on your pickup list. This one's probably on everybody's list. It's just one of those that's a really, really hot game if you find it. And there's two versions of it, right? There's this one that I've got that's sold, and then there's one for kids that I think you can actually do better with the kids one. So if you see it, pick it up. Even for parts, you can probably do pretty good on this. This one was really good because it was partially sealed inside. Yeah, super easy to flip. Not as easy as some of the other stuff, right? But because you got to take a little bit more care of these. You got to make sure all the parts are there. And I got to lay it all out to take the picture so that people can see what's inside of it. I thought probably this was going to be more like $50. I think I was confusing it with the 4Kids in some of my comps. So I ended up taking a best offer of $40. But at the end of the day, I paid $2 for this at a garage sale last summer. So I'm not going to complain about this one at all. Great flip, going $2 into $40. Item number 15, another VCR. This is the other one I found at that Goodwill when I found the Panasonic a few items ago. Same deal, paid $5.99 for this. This one had the remote. I wasn't really sure how much it was going to be worth. There was comps anywhere from $20 up to a little bit higher. The last one that had sold with the remote sold for, I think, $30. I went a little bit higher. I was just like, let's do $44.99 and see if it sells. It sold right away. I definitely could have gotten more for this one. So at the end of the day, I paid $5.99 for this. I'm not going to be too upset about it. But of course, anytime you leave money on the table, it usually feels bad. Some of the other items I wasn't unhappy about. This one, I think I probably should have priced it like $60. But what are you going to do? It's a good flip either way you look at it. Item number 16, this is a Wii Bundle. I ended up saving all of the systems to list after Thanksgiving like I usually do. And then any of the games that don't have a lot of value by themselves, or even in like a series bundle, right? I might do like Just Dances all together or something like that. A lot of those can do well, but anything where it's like this one game by itself, it's not part of a series, doesn't have a lot of value by itself, I'll save those and I'll create these bundles around Christmas time. This one was Wii Sports Resort. So I found a couple of the attachments that are the Motion Plus that go to the controllers. and just made a bundle with that. So 2 controllers with the 2 Motion Plus attachments, 2 of the what do you call them? The nunchucks plus the system, and then Wii Sports Resort. Nice little bundle. I had listed this actually at $125, hoping to get a little bit more money for it, and it didn't sell right away. So I ended up not. I just decided let's go down to 100 and see if that will sell. And sure enough, as soon as I lowered it to 100, it sold right away. And so honestly, I'm really happy with this. This is about what I was expecting to get for it. Just hoped to get a little bit more. That's why I priced it a little bit higher. Since I buy all these things kind of haphazardly throughout the year and bundle it all together, it's always a weird price. This one was $27. Who knows? But $27 into $100, definitely a great little flip for a Wii, right? Obviously, these take a little bit more work, so you want to try and get them as cheaply as possible, but I'm not going to complain. Like I said, I'm going to quadruple my money on this, so it's a great flip. Item number 17, this is a Wii video game called Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. This one's a bad one, you guys. I sold it for, I think, $10.99 free shipping. So after shipping, it was $7.18. And I was into this for $3.99. I don't know where I got this. I'm guessing it was probably a big bundle that I had bought, and I didn't get a good deal on it, and I was just I just had to buy the bundle. One of those situations where I made a bad decision and should have just walked away, and I didn't. So actually going to take a little bit of not a beating on this, but just not going to make any money on it. I'm glad it sold. I'm glad it's out of the house. I probably should have bundled this with one of the Wiis and just been done with it, but I didn't. So what are you going to do? On to the next item, right? Item number 18, this is a Nordic Ware. If you guys haven't seen my channel before, I do love flipping these little bunt pans. Be careful with the word bunt. Nordic Ware does have the registered trademark on that word. So if it's not a Nordic Ware and you say bunt, they will probably give you a takedown notice, some kind of a Vero, something like that. I don't remember exactly what they'll do, but don't do it for anything but Nordic Ware. That being said, if it's Nordic Ware, use it as much as you can. These are not, I wouldn't say tricky, but there's definitely a big spread of value. I've sold them anywhere from $7 all the way up to about $50. Definitely, they're going to be found mostly in thrift stores. I don't really find these at garage sales very often. Tag sales are what we call garage sales in Connecticut. I know, it's weird. But yeah, definitely look for these in tag sales. Thrift stores. I think I ended up paying up a little bit for this. I think it was $6.99 at a Savers. And I did have a 20% off, so it ended up being more like $5.50, something like that. And so not bad, just not as great of a flip as some of the others I've done. Did sell for $15 though, and what I really like about this is they might need a little bit of cleaning, but otherwise super easy, right? There's no moving parts on this. Nothing needs to be tested. Quick picture of front and back. I usually try to take a picture of the logo so people know it's actually official, and then I like to make sure that people know it was made in the USA. That's important to some people. So super easy to list, ship, and sell. Couple more items to go here, and then we'll be done this week. Number 19, this is another from Matt's house. Another one of these Rock Band dongles. This one I sold for $29.99 free shipping, so after shipping it was $26.20. Same deal, 40% to me, 40% to Matt. Thank you, Matt. And item number 20, this is a little bundle of Metal Gear Solid games for the PlayStation 2. Right, this was I think Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. They had a little bit of value by themselves. They were about $10 each. And I saw that if you bundled them, you might be able to get a little bit more. And that happened. So I got $29.99 for these. And I was into them for, I think, about $5 each. So a little bit more than I like to be. Right, about $10, turning that into $30. It's not like super great, but honestly, right, still $20 in profit. So not going to complain about it. And especially video games, super easy to list and ship. These can go in, if it's one video game, can go in a bubble mailer. For 2, I tend to put them in a little box. I've got a box size that works really well. 10 by 6 by 2. Super easy to put any kind of bundles in. I can ship up to 3 games in one box that way. Works really well. All right, so that's going to do it this week, you guys. Like I said, 20 items sold. Total sold price this week was $786.73. A little bit funny when you'd have the free shipping on them. Definitely not as good as the last few weeks, right? I was in the $1,300, $1,400 range, but my weekly goal is $700. I want to be selling $100 a day. As a part-time reseller, that feels about right for me, about the amount of work I want to put in. I ended up having cost of goods sold of about $170, and a fees I estimated at about $122, so it's going to be about $300 in fees. So after that, it's going to be about $487 in profit. So pretty great week, honestly, when you look at it like that. And I did about 10 hours of work last week on eBay. I only spent 4 days listing, and I did about 3 hours in sourcing on Saturday. So come back this Saturday, you'll see that sourcing day. Amber and I had a good time. We found some good stuff. So come back and see what we found. And so if you divide that cost by the 10 hours, it's about $50 an hour in profit, which is pretty great, all right? For the amount of effort I'm putting into it, for the amount of time I want to spending, $50 an hour to pay myself is fantastic. And like I said, that's after fees. That's after cost of goods sold, so it's really good. So that's going to do it this week, you guys. If you've enjoyed this content, please do smash that like button. And if you like this content, like this channel, consider subscribing, please. If you're just here to watch, that's okay too. I don't mind at all. But definitely, I like to see the subs come in too. That's always really fun. Once again, my name is Patrick, and thank you very much.